After reading The Little Prince. After reading May of My Sister, as I looked through the bookcase, I noticed The Little Prince. I didn't read this book since I was young, because I don't read books that others read very well, because I don't want to follow the others people. I don't read books even if it is a bestseller, but if it is good book, I will read it. I don't know exactly when, but I'm sure it's been like this since I was a kid. It is there now. That's why I haven't read the book, The Little Prince, till now, which the others seem to have read at least one. But after reading May of My Sister, I wanted to read the children's stories again. So I read this book that I haven't read for a long time now. The main characters are the author and the little prince. The author is no different from any other adults. It shows the typical adult. The author doesn't respond well about bothersome little boy. The little prince is also no different from any other children's. One characteristic of the little prince is that he keeps asking questions until the other person answers them. If she opponent doesn't answer, he asks the same question again. He is a child of endless questions and curiosity. Here is a question. Why is the little prince, who is not just a child or a kid? I still can't find the answer to this. Is there no reason? Thinking about this makes my head ache again. I just leave it as a question. This story is described from the author's point of view, from the little prince's point of view, or both. The story unfolds at various points. The various points of view are adding to fun it is, but the flow seems to be cut off every time it does. I think it's better for the same flow to continue rather than fear down different points of view, because I prefer to be deeply immersed in one when I read a book. And there's something I hate when I watch movie and when I read books, which is an open ending. I feel that this book is an open ending. I really hate the open ending. It seems that the authors are throwing homework at their readers. I want a definitive ending. I hate homework like this. Someone would like an open ending, but I don't. It makes me think a lot and it really hurts my head. When the author and the little prince first meet, the little prince asks the author to draw a ship. The author drew some sheep, but the little prince is not satisfied. Then annoyed, the author gives him a box and says, "Here's the sheep you want." The little prince was happy and satisfied. The sheep is invisible because it is in the box, but the little prince is happy. Why? After reading the book, I found out. The little prince traveled 6 stars for leaving his star to escape the flower that flew to his planet. The planet with a king symbolizing power, a star full of vanity who values what is seen in others, a star with a drunkard, a star with a rich businessman, a star with a man working hard the right on the street right. It will reach the earth in the 70th time after the star with an old gentleman right above. In the eyes of the little prince, all the others in the star look stupid. Others of each star were blinded by power, vanity, alcohol, and money, and were living without knowing what mattered. So what's important? After reading the book, I found out. Arriving on Earth, the little prince meets flowers, which are no different from the flowers on his planet. He thought he had the only flower in the world, but when he realized he didn't, the little prince was disappointed and cried. But after meeting the fox, the little prince recognized the difference. The fox said, "My secret is very simple. You can see better by looking at it with your heart. The most important thing is that it's invisible with eyes." The difference between a flower in the little prince star and a flower in the earth is the mind. The little prince gave heart to his flower, and the flower gave heart to the little prince. Relationships have been made between each other. I have learned that what is important is not what is outward, but what is seen with the heart. If appearance is important, flowers on earth should also be precious to a little prince. But it wasn't. Finally, the little prince realized the importance of his flower and goes back to his own planet. But he goes back to his star by dying. Through the little prince, the author seemed to tell us what is precious in the world. As the fox said, the precious thing is our relationship with the precious people next to us and their hearts. The author seemed to be saying, realize it to others who don't realize the preciousness because it is always next to them. It seems to be saying that important values are not power, money, or honor. But when the little prince realized it, why did he die? Of course, the little prince said he would not die even if he looked like he was dying. When we realize its value, it's time almost to die, so the meaning is to realize quickly and have a happy life with the precious people around you. The affirmationship is in the box and is invisible, but the little prince felt the shift. Relationships with precious people are invisible too. The mind between people is invisible, but can be felt. People in six stars considered other values important. The little prince couldn't understand the people. The little prince knew what was important, but only when he came to Earth did he realize it was important and goes back to his own star and flower. That what matters is not the outward appearance, but the mind. The author showed the lives of others looking at the eyes of the child called the little prince. I thought it was just an easily fairy tale, and easily turned over the first page without thinking. But my hand, turning over the book whenever I turned it over, gradually slowed down. After reading this book, my head was filled with gifts from the little prince, Suddenly, I got such a big gift that my head is aching from Little Prince. After reading the book, I looked at the cover of the book without thinking about it, and there was something written on the cover. A fairy tale dedicated to all the children of the world and to the others who were once children. I didn't know what it means before I read it, but I think I've finally come to know it. For children, don't chase the material, go after the mind. For adults who are already old, it seems that the author is telling us to realize what's important now in life. At least I felt that way. So I recommend this book to all children in the world and adults who were once children. Because for us, this book is the fox of the little prince.